Today we're talking about Borges, and I have a guest with me, Mariano Siskind, a professor of Romance languages at Harvard University. Mariano, when did you first read Borges, and how has your view and experience of Borges changed since then?
In Argentina, Borges has always been a public figure. You know of Borges before you read Borges, even if you're a teenager like I was. But for me, it was during my first year of high school. I was 14. It was the year when Borges died in 1986. We had to read El Sur, the South, the short story for the literature class in high school. And I probably thought that I had read Borges before, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm pretty sure that was going to be my first encounter with the actual text. And so I went to my grandfather's house, and he had the largest library, books and books, of anyone I knew at the time. And so I read him from his book at his house. I think there's a certain commonality in the experience of first reading Borges, which is like, wow, I'm not sure I understand what's going on here, but there's something very special being done with language and with literature and with the national tradition and with mixing of cultural imaginaries. Of course, I didn't think about it in those terms at that time. But I was...
You were reading comic books, right?
Yes, I seem to remember that there was a choice. You could choose Borges or some other writers. And I think that I had started wanting to represent myself as an intellectual.
Okay.
So I think I had started reading or pose as a reader of important things then. And then what happened was that there are two nice endings to this story. The first one is quite funny because we had to do a skit to convey our interpretation of the short story. So I was assigned the role of playing Borges. So I borrowed a cane and a jacket, and I played the blind, wise old man in my high school classroom. And when I had to get back home on the bus, I decided that I wanted to continue playing Borges and pretend I was blind so someone would give me their seat.
And did it happen?
Yes, yes. But then I was scared and I stepped out of the bus earlier because I wasn't controlling the story very well. And then the other very nice thing that happened was that as a result of that first encounter with Borges in my grandfather's study, he gave me as a gift, with a very nice dedication, the complete works of Borges, which at the time it was like one huge volume, which is the volume that I still have and that I still use to teach my Borges course here at Harvard. So that was my first acquaintance with Borges literature, which is not at all extraordinary. It's very much like all youngsters read Borges the first time. And then I continued to read it's hard to tell whether I was reading or posing as a reader of Borges, but then...
It's a very Borgesian question,
right,
I feel like.
Exactly. And then when I got to the university in Argentina, in the University of Buenos Aires, where you study literature from the very beginning, you don't have a BA that is much more diverse like here in the US. And so I took courses with two of the most important experts in the criticism of Borges, Beatriz Arlo and Ricardo Piglia. And then when I came to the US to do my PhD at NYU, I studied under Sylvia Molloy, who's, I think that triad of professors and critical readers of Borges left a mark in terms of my understanding and my interest in Borges that are still with me. I still find the traces of their thought and of their readings in my own interpretation and also in the way I teach it, because it was also a pedagogical lesson about how to teach Borges.